Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we'll be learning how to convert metric units of capacity. Before we get started, it would be helpful if you had a pencil, some scratch paper, an eraser, and a partner to help you talk out the problems. Don't forget, you can always pause the video and go back to parts of the video that you want to review. All right, this is a delicious looking Coca-Cola. In the metric system, the common units of capacity are liter and milliliter, and usually our delicious sodas are held or measured as liters. So today we're actually going to be looking at this metric unit and looking at liters and milliliters, and we're going to learn how to convert them. So today we are learning how to convert or change metric units of capacity. Go ahead and write down your level of understanding before we get started, and then we'll come back to it at the end. As a review, we've been converting units for quite some time. You can always go back to the other videos to review if you need to. We worked on customary units. We first started with customary units of length, and then we looked at customary units of weight. We used these steps to help us. If we were turning or converting units from smaller to larger, we divided, and if we were converting from a larger unit into a smaller unit, we would multiply. We also used customary units to measure capacity. Those were ounces, cups, pints, quarts, gallons. Today, like I said earlier, we're looking at liters and milliliters. We also looked at mass. That was our first metric unit that we converted. We looked at milligrams, grams, and kilograms. Today's big idea is to understand that we can measure capacity in our metric system using liters and milliliters. A milliliter is a small amount of liquid in an eyedropper. I use a little eyedropper or a little medicine cup to give my sons medicine when they're sick. And those are usually measured in milliliters. A liter is a medium-sized sports drink, or like that Coca-Cola bottle that I showed you at the beginning. Our success criteria for today's lesson encompasses all that we've learned so far. We can multiply whole numbers, we can divide whole numbers, we can determine the equivalence between customary measurements, and we can also convert customary units of length, weight, and capacity. We can also convert metric units of mass. And again, if you need a review on these lessons, you can go back to the YouTube channel and review any lessons that you need to. All right, let's start with our first model. You're gonna watch me complete this model, and then we'll go into practice some together. A dripping faucet wastes about 90 liters of water every week. How many milliliters of water is this? Well, the first thing we need to do is convert 90 liters to milliliters. Since 1 liter, I'm going to use that chart on the bottom, equals 1,000 milliliters, I can multiply 90 by 1,000. When I do that, I get 90,000. So 90 liters equals 90,000 milliliters. The dripping faucet wastes 90,000 milliliters of water. So for our steps today, we're going to write down our units of capacity. We're going to do the same concept or practice the same concept. If we turn a smaller unit into a larger unit, we divide. If we go from a larger unit to a smaller unit, we multiply. We'll use that chart to help us and list out our thinking. Here's one more example before you try one. A container of orange juice holds 580 milliliters. How many liters is 580 milliliters? Well, since 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, I'm going to divide 580 by 1,000. When I do that, I can just move the decimal point over. Since I have 3 zeros, I can move the decimal point over 3 spaces, which will give me 0.058 liters. So the container holds 0.58 liters of orange juice. And it looks like here I made a mistake, which is actually perfect because this will be perfect opportunity for me to show you. So since I have 3 zeros, I move it over 1, 2, 3. And I put my decimal point here. So this is actually incorrect. And my answer is 0.58 liters. So remember, when we're dividing, we can move our decimals over depending on the number of zeros. All right, so that worked out. That was a teachable moment. Okay, let's go into our practice. If you want to pause and try it on your own first, you can do that, or you can follow along with me. All right, so let's go ahead and try this one. We need to convert 6 liters to milliliters. Since I'm going to use my chart below, I know 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. I'm going to multiply 6 times 1,000, which gives me 6,000. So 6 liters is equal to 6,000 milliliters. Let's try this one. We're going to convert 7,000 milliliters to liters. I'm going to be dividing 7,000 by 1,000, and I'll have 7. So 7,000 milliliters is equal to 7 liters. Let's try this one. 4 liters equals how many milliliters? Well, again, there's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter, so 4 times 1,000 is equal to 4,000. So 4 liters is equal to 4,000 milliliters. 42 milliliters into liters. I'm going to be dividing 1,000 and 42. When I do that, I can move my decimal point over to the left 3 times, which gives me 0.042. So 42 milliliters is equal to 0.042 liters. What was our learning objective today? Today we learned how to convert metric units of capacity. Go ahead and write down your level of understanding after today's lesson. We're going to go over a couple more questions before we close the lesson. The nail shop purchases nail polish in 13 milliliter bottles. Find the total capacity in liters of 1,000 bottles. Well, I'm simply going to multiply 1,000 times 13, because if I have 1,000 bottles and they're each 13 milliliters, that will tell me how many milliliters I have in total. Finally, I'm going to need to divide the 13,000 into the number of liters so I can determine how many liters I have. So I have 13,000 divided by 1,000, which gives me 13. So nail polish in liters is 13 liters. Let's try this one more question. And again, you can pause and try on your own, or you can follow along with me. Pauline measures the water in a container to be 2,732 milliliters. Justin measures the water in the same container to be 3 liters. Which amount is greater? Well, first, I want to convert the numbers so that they are the same unit. So if I do 3 times 1,000, that gives me 3,000 milliliters. I'm changing liters to milliliters there. That helps me understand that 3,000 is greater than 2,732. So 3 liters is greater than 2,732 milliliters. Thank you so much for following along to today's lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe and visit for more direct instruction lessons. Thank you so much.